sisters, beloveds, twin flames. Well, today it's Samhain. Samhain, starting a new cycle, starting a new beginning, endings, and a new rebirth. We're going into the shadow, into the dark womb of the mother. And that means that we're going back in retreat. We want to get into our cave and we're going to solve the things we had no place for. So in this dark space, in your dark cave, you will find out the dark stuff that comes up. It could be things that triggers you and that is in need of transformation, like fear, anger, frustration, control, all those things that will come to the surface to teach you a lesson. And if you don't learn your lesson well, it will repeat and repeat and repeat itself. So, I want to have a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes, to contemplate and honor our ancestors, honor our fathers, our mothers, our grandparents and great-great-grandparents, and the ancestors way before that, to give us life. They gave us life. Because of them, we are here. And in this peace, I call it peace, because when we go inside, we find peace, we find stillness, and there are different things that will come through. Today I want to channel some information for you, but also to have this little bit of light in the darkness of our soul. And when we are going in this darkness, and you know our soul is bright and shining and full of love, that means that we have to shed our ego. We have to shed the thoughts that take control over us. And we also know that if the control is taking over, there is no peace within. So I honor the ancestors for this. I honor the ancestors for our peace. I honor the ancestors for our lessons. And I want you to ask to close your eyes and feel your breath going to your heart space. Let your light shine through your heart, because you know there is light within your soul. I honor my mother, who is deceased. I honor my grandfather, who is deceased. I honor my grandmother, who is deceased. And I feel their energies coming through. I honor my great-grandmother, who is deceased. I honor my great-grandfather who is deceased. I honor my great-great-grandmother who is deceased. And I honor my great-great-grandfather who is deceased. And I honor the generations before that, up till 7 generations. I integrate their love and support, their knowledge and their talents, and all what no longer serves us. I send it to the light to transform and to heal them on the places that needs to be healed. It won't be transferred onto us, as is not for us to carry. In love and honor and blessings to the ones who gave birth to us. We walking on their bones, on this land. We feeling their energies around us in this time when the veils are so slight and tight and thin. To connect with them, to honor them, and to feel them around us, to guide us through these days. Blessed be. Happy Samhain. When we going into this space of Samhain, there are a lot of things going on. You will feel it in the energy. The energy is dropping down. The energy is heavier. And it's getting time to withdraw into our caves. And that's really what I want to do. I really want to go back in my cave because I had enough of the hard work and the celebrations and the light that's speeding up. When we are staying in our ego space, time will speed up even more. So it's really necessary that we have to slow down, that we have to come back, to have to go inwards and contemplate into our space so we can go within and feel what needs to be transmuted and needs to be transferred. I hear the ego place is a place of darkness, of programming, of control, of fear, because all our thoughts is programmed with conditions from our past, from our parents, from TV, from everything else around us, from commercials. You know, we getting controlled any minute of the day. And when we look at the control, even on television, on on the radio, all the advertisement, it's all programming our thoughts to get a place. If we don't buy this, or if we don't do this, then we don't belong. And you all need to know that we all belong. We all belong somewhere. We all belong in our hearts. We all belong to ourselves, and we are light. And we are not the person they want us to be. We are the authentic person within, in our heart space, in our soul. And in this time, we will see what will going on if you're too much in your mind space. You will get distracted. Angry people will come up. The pressure will come up. We are in a pressure cooker at the moment, up till 2020. A huge change will come in 2020. A huge change will happen on the 25th of December. A huge shift. And the people who are not going with this flowing energy, they will get hit hard. They really get hit hard. And the whole system and the whole paradigm will shift and will fail. So I had a beautiful conversation with a sister about this last night. Catherine, thank you for this. For the beautiful confirmation I already felt in my heart. Sometimes I say things and I don't know why I say that, because I know that I need to say it because there's something big going to happen. And if you give someone an invitation, it's probably an invitation, and I don't know why I give that invitation, but it's an invitation that you want them on board with the shift, so they won't fall out, so they won't get back in the shift of the control of the system, of the mind control, of the anger, of the chaos, of the mind. You know, you have to feel into yourself. Go to the place of worthiness. You know, everybody is worthy. Nobody is not worthy. It's the society that gives you that label. It's the thought and it's the mind that gives you that label. And when we start to grow, and we growing more into it and more into it, and we really open ourselves up to these energies and to discover what's within yourself. So why are you getting frustrated? Why are you getting angry? What for purpose does it has? You know, give it a purpose. You know, why are you getting angry on what someone says? It gives you probably a trigger, but go and look within what that trigger is, and treat it with kindness and love. And if you do so, if you do with kindness and love for yourself, you know, it will be much easier, because we are used to get to judge ourselves way too much. We judge ourselves, and we are ourselves' biggest critics. But why don't we give love to ourselves? And all what's in the past is in the past. Those were the lessons we needed to learn from. And we all walk with shame. We all walk with shame because we feel we're not good enough because the mistakes we made. And that is a program. That is a program. They programmed us to feel shameful so they can have control over us. And that's not the case. We can leave the shame behind. I know I went through times of that I really felt ashamed for something I did, and out of anger, or out of and mistreating someone. And that was then. I'm a totally different person now. So I'm not judging myself anymore for doing that. I forgave myself. I forgave the other person. Because if you don't forgive yourself that you did this, then you will have a burden the rest of your life. And we don't want to get burdened. We don't want to get in this circle of light, of the circle of life that keeps us under control. So the first person you have to forgive is yourself. And be gentle with yourself and go to the light. Light in your soul, light in your heart. And then forgive the other person also for triggering you, and keep it by yourself. Because there was a trigger. Of course there is a trigger, otherwise you won't react that way. So also forgive, look at the other, what they triggered. Can you transform that? Can you do something with that emotion? Or are you just going on and do the same all over and over and over again? That's not awareness. We need to wake up. We need to wake up of our own shadows and treat our own shadows with love and kindness. And if you can't do it by yourself, go and look for a coach, or go and look for someone who can help you. Because, you know, when we transfer everything what is dark within us, we go to the light. We become lighter and lighter. And we have to face our fears. And that's the time now. Where we in? The time of the dark mother. The dark mother womb. What's going on in the dark mother womb? In the womb are all our traumas. In the womb there are all our regrets also. Our regrets. Addictions. You know, think about sexual addictions, abuse, things like that. It's all in our womb. And if we don't clear our womb space and we leave those traumas there will be no resolving. So this is the ultimate time to go within and face our shadows. So my question to you is, what is your biggest fear? And most of the people will say rejection. And rejection is just a protection. If you get rejected by someone, it means you get protected for something bigger. And our mind is saying, I'm not good enough. And that's not the case. We're not getting a rejection of someone. We're rejecting ourselves, because that's our ego. They say it's not good enough. So when we go in deeper and go into layer or layer and layer and layer and layer, and you come to the real source of all the darkness within yourself, we can transform it to the light. Of course, we will still carry some stuff with us, but it's also to learn again. We're never done with learning and awakening, and we transform our emotions into a different kind of way of thinking. We're not going to think bad about our emotions anymore. We think in love, and we think in positivity, and we think in, creation. If we go to the past, we go, and this is what's going on in this time of the year. When we go into the past, we're getting into depression. When we go into the future, we're going into anxiety. So the best thing to do is leave it all behind and go in the flow and be in the now. And everything will flow. Don't think about it. Just let yourself be guided. Where do you want to go? Where don't think I need to go there because I need to be there. No, let it go. And let yourself be guided and feel in your intuition where you be guided to. And I had it this morning. I was in the cell as well. And I said, I'm going home. And before I know it, I was walking to the well. So when I was leaving my thoughts behind, Spirit guided me another way. And I needed to be there. Because it was all empty. I was alone with the well. And I could do my prayers. And I could do my honoring for the ancestors and thank the Lady of Avalon for all the lessons she taught me. To be grateful and be, having gratitude. Having gratitude. So now the energies are getting heavier. It's getting more darker outside. It's about 5 o'clock. It's already dark. So put on some candles in your house when you come home. Spread some light and not just the lights of the light bulbs. It's get the softness of the light of the candles that will warm up your house. Put on a fire. Stare in the fire for a while. If you don't have a fire, put a candle on your table and stare in the candle. So it will ease your mind. So there are so many things we can do to honor our goddess, to honor ourselves, our inner wounds, our inner child wounds, maybe our adult wounds. So it's the time of rebirth, of endings, letting go what doesn't suit you anymore. If you have a feeling that someone else is not good for you and they are hard to you, or they project their wounds on you, leave, get out of that space, because you're more worth than you get given. Because you're love, you're light, and you know it. And if you start to believe in it and you go in a vortex of let things happen, you know also that the divine will step in. The divine will take care of them, and the divine will take care of you. And doesn't matter where you go, you will go in the right direction. Always. There is no good and there is no bad. It's equal. It's just your mind, how your mind perceives it. Your mind make it that someone is a bad person, or judge you, or judge yourself. But that's not the case. In the universe there is no bad and there is no good. It's just silence, peace. So if you see someone and is in need of help, give them help. That's where we're here for. We're here to support each other to a better world, to a new world. Also the new earth, they say. It's not only the new earth. It's the new humanity that needs to, stand up. And you see it everywhere. at the moment, everybody is demonstrating to the patriarchy. They're not taking it anymore because they feel they take advantage of us. They don't listen to us. They don't hear us. So everything was under pressure or underpressed in a long, long time, it will come up and it will revolt. And that's what's happening at the moment. And you see the patriarchy is putting in police, is putting in big measurements. And that's a sign they can't handle it. So let's force and be loving and be kind and demonstrate, if we need to demonstrate in love. Don't force them to and don't provoke them. Because that's the case. If we start to provoke, they can't do anything in silence or in love. Because then they would make the first step and then they know the shit will hit the fan. Because, yeah, that's what's going on. And at the moment we are in a place of very huge shifts. And the shifts we're making now, we're doing it for the whole collective. You see, everybody's waking up. Everybody is waking up. And work with the earth, work with the universe, and bring it both in the center of your heart. And that will give you peace. It will give you harmony. So let's see what the cards have to tell us. Letting go. Letting go of the old, step into the new. Let go what no longer serves you. If you feel miserable in a relationship, let it go. If you are moving, I get a message for someone who is moving from another house. Make sure, I don't know who you are, but the letter is starting with a Y, I see. Probably you're moving to another house, but make sure you don't buy any houses. Go to a rental place, because within 2 years there's such a big shift that you need to move again. So it's better to get into a rental space than in a bought house. That house that you buy is so much better for someone else. This is for someone else. The house that you will buy is so much better than you lived in. It will give you clarity, it will give you light, it gives you harmony, but you need to reclaim the house for your own if you're buying a house. So you have to reclaim that house. You have to reclaim the energy. You have to use sage, to clear it out, to clear the energies out. And make progress for yourself in that house. And this house will give you happiness. I also see someone who will get a child there in a new house. For another person, oh wow, thank you. A lot of spirits are coming through at the moment. There is also a situation, I feel, that moving is necessary to make things happen and to make things and let things go. So the moving is necessary. You have to go through with moving, and I have a feeling that it has to do with kind of turmoil at the moment in the family. There's a turmoil in the family, and you have to leave those people behind. You have to leave the family behind. because the family is giving a lot of stress, a lot of distress. A lot of people in the family wants to have control. And in this control situation, you won't be happy because you can't do the things you want to do. I see someone interfering with your children. You know, if you don't want your children to have a connection with them because they're controlling and they're taking over, leave them behind. Let it go. So that's what I say. Let go and go to the light. This is an amazing card. Go to the light within and know that something better will come on your way. You need to trust. And trust is the only thing you need to do. Just let it go from your mind space. And if you go to your mind space and you did something, this is a very nice one, because sometimes we have a thinking pattern to attract things in our lives. So if you don't know, if you said something or you don't want to attract it into your life, just say Control, delete, 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 and get it out of your system. As soon as you notice that you say something that you don't want to attract in your life, say Control, delete. Delete my control. Delete my thoughts. Delete the mind space. Control, delete. Delete the control of my mind. So you will be open in your space of your heart and let it flow again. And right away, if you say Control, delete, 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 delete 3 times, and then think about a happy space. Think about something that you can attract in your life, or go to a happy space or a happy memory, so you can attract more of that in your life instead of something you said that isn't really what you want to attract. So it's time to let go. It doesn't matter what it is. If something doesn't work, it doesn't go smooth, it doesn't go in flow, it's hard work, and it makes you feel bad about yourself. If people are harsh to you, leave. And it could be that in years time, that they will change. That they will change and see the light. But, you know, the universe will take care of everybody. The universe will take care of you, will take care of the other person. And it's probably, if you have trouble of letting go, or is it a relationship or a house or old emotions, you know, look for someone who can help you with it. Okay. Everything is a reflection of yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look in the other person's eyes. If you see love in the other person, then you know there's love within you. If you criticize someone else, you know, think again. Why are you criticizing that person? Because maybe somebody else said something to you about that person. Don't get in that space. Release it. You know, there are so many control systems running. There are so many people that say something about someone. And if you don't resonate on that vibration, just leave them behind. Let them go. Because look for the reflection in someone. Look for the goodness in someone. And this is the ultimate time to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know, I see goodness in myself. I love myself, and I will be gentle with myself. Why? God is not judging you. You're judging yourself. And if God doesn't judge you, you don't have to judge yourself. That's also probably here with the third party for the twin flames. If there's a third party and that's mirroring you, and it could be that it is a karmic, that you need to learn from that person, you know, maybe you feel there's a connection with that person, but you need to learn. So withdraw yourself out of the situation so that the reflection can only be seen by the person who's living with it or hanging around with it. You know, it's about being integrity, having integrity for yourself, honor your feelings, and don't let yourself be played or manipulated, and be played on your guilt and be played on your fears, because that's what happens a lot in third parties. So only real love will conquer all. You know, it's the old saying of love conquers all. It is. And if the person wants something from you, and if they want something from you, you will know, because you will trigger them if you say no, because their ego will play up. And there will be anger, and there will be frustration, and they can go screaming and all the things. Know that this is a karmic relationship. Know that it's a karmic. You know? So, reflection of yourself in everybody you see. And see the best in everybody, because everybody, even if you don't see it, they have something good. So focus on the good, so you will attract the good. Adele, emotional flow. I don't know for who this message was, but think about it. Let me know if this message was for you. Give a reaction. Because I have a feeling that there are multiple people who are in this situation, and you know, I want to see and to know how you can transform it, so you don't get overwhelmed by emotions. Let the emotions go in flow. That's what she says here. You know, transform your emotions. Go within and transform it and create this butterfly energy. If you are in flow with your emotions, and all the emotions may be there, you know, I have a feeling that this is for a woman with the letter E. Let all the emotions be there. Yeah, okay. I'm connecting with someone with an M from the deceased, and they say, you know, I don't want to be personal with names, because the person who watched this will figure out that it's for him or her, and I have a feeling that this person said, you know, it's for releasing your emotions. Your emotions may be there. It's valid that your emotions are there. But focus on the light and focus on the future, and focus on transformation. Because this is a situation that comes back around every 8 years. So you have to clear out the karma and you have to transform the emotions. Also your own emotions and your own thoughts about things need to change, because also there's also control in your system that think that some things are not the way they should be. Wow, this I don't know why they say this, but you probably will understand. Also your view that things need to be different, then you have a thought about it. Wow, need to be changed because the other person doesn't feel seen, and if they don't feel seen by you, then the emotions will drop, or the person will close down, or they won't. There is no way you can communicate anymore. So leave it open, and let it go, and don't judge the other person that they are slow, or that they are quicker than you, or that they do things different than you, but give them the space to find out and to work it out on their own. Because you can tell them hundreds of times what they need to do. The only thing they will do is shut down. Because there is no trust to open up. There is no trust to open up and to reveal their emotions, because there's no space, because there is already a judgment there. And they feel not validated. So go with the emotions, let the emotions go, transform the emotions. We all in this learning curve, we all need to learn. And for some of you, okay, this is another energy that steps in. For some of you, it's time to let go of okay, thank you, of ignorance, being ignorant, not seeing what is real and not real, not wanting to see what is real or not real, living in an illusion that someone is giving to you. Someone's saying something to you and you make a whole your own story of it, and you make it more beautiful in your head than it in reality is, and that makes that will create the hurt. So take the things as they are. Don't fantasize about it. Don't make it better than it is. Because it is what it is. And if you're in the now, if you're fantasizing about it, you're in the future. You're not in the now. Your mind is taking over control and wants you to see and to believe what it is. And your mind is an illusion. What the TV says is an illusion. What the government says is an illusion. They just want you to believe in their stories. They tell you what's not true. Because they are not the ones who are in control. They just have to tell you a story before bedtime. And you just believe it. So let those feelings and your emotions, don't give it a meaning. Don't give it a meaning. If you let go and go in the flow with your emotions, and they can be there, what they are, look at them and see from a view, and not connect with these emotions. Not always connect. There are emotions you can connect with, and then you feel, it's flowing, But if it's not in flow, take a distance, look at it, and let it go. Because most of the times it's the ego that creates a story about the emotion. And sometimes it's not the right way. Sometimes it's not the right way to believe yourself. Yeah? Okay. Thank you. What you need to do, focus. And that's what I said. I just said, focus. Focus on the light. Focus on your heart space. Focus on that energy. Focus of love, universal love. What's the highest good of the collective? Feel and feel and feel in it. Feel and feel and feel in it, in your heart space. There is nothing else than love. All other stuff is an illusion, doesn't exist. It's something that your mind makes up. And when you're in a silent space, you know where your heart belongs. Your heart belongs with the universe, with the light. It's one source. Know that there is, for the twin flames, I want to say this for the twin flames. Know that your other soul part is always around you, is always connected with you, even if they're not there, even if they're not in the same space as you are. If there's a long distance, know that your heart space is always energetically connected. Hi Vicky, I saw you coming through. And yes, I'm also always connected with you. So my heart space is always connected with someone. And we have multiple rays. You see all these rays, all these connections we make with people. Those connections don't stop radiating to that person. If we think about it, or think about them on another plane, they will feel our energy. They will feel our love. They know that we're always connected. So that's also a sign for detachment. If we focus on ourself, on our self-healing, on our self-love, we will contribute to the whole collective. We will contribute to the whole collective with love. And that's where we need to focus. We need to focus on our own light. We need to focus on our own love, of our own heart connection. Our connections with Source is the biggest connection there is. And if we're going into this dark space, and if we're going into this womb of the Dark Mother till the 22nd of December, this year it's the 22nd of December, and the 25th will be a huge shift. There will be a huge shift. And it's around Christmas. And then, you want to be at that time, you want to be with the people you love, truly in your heart. Because if you don't, and you make other decisions on that time, and I got explained to me yesterday, it's about if the ego is taking over, or the shame or the guilt or whatever, that will be triggered more and more and more. the people who were still following their ego mind and going in distress and going in the control system, they will get a very hard time. I don't want to go in collapsing, or yeah, things will collapse, things will erupt, the whole system will collapse, everything will change, and I don't want the people I love going through that. And I don't know why I give out an invitation, but if you are, and if you have loved ones, make sure they are all together on the 25th of December. Because after that, if we and I don't like what I say, because I hear a threat in that, and I don't want to give threats, but it's a prediction that's already happening. It's already emotion, and that will happen on the 25th, the birthday of Jesus, the birthday of Saint Anastasia. So if we get in that mode, please be with your loved ones. If things don't serve for you anymore, let it go. It's the time of endings and rebirths. I hope you all will get something out of this energy report. The energies are getting heavier, it's getting darker. Retreat, honor our ancestors, you know, burn a candle for them, spread your light, connect with your inner light and with source, and go in peace and go in love in this period for yourself. I think now it's more necessary to be loving and kind to yourself, but surely address the dark side of yourself. Because if you're not able to address your dark side, it will stay there and it will come back harder and harder next time. If we don't learn our lessons, it will repeat ourselves. Well, thank you all. It's getting to start. It starts to get darker here, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Spread your light, love and blessings. Bye bye.